So what are those so-called floaties that let you take turns with an incredibly high speed? A floaty happens when in a very specific situation, one of your car's front tires loses contact with the ground. And because the car isn't fully touching the track, you lose way less speed while drifting, giving that floating illusion. This is not something optional to learn. If you play time-limited events, gauntlet or multiplayer and want to play at a high level, you must know this. There are two main types of floaties that every player should learn. And there are two hidden ones, exclusive to a single car. We'll cover those at the end. The first type of floaty is the punch drift. This happens when you nitro brake mid-drift, which briefly lifts the car and causes a short float. It's extremely useful for tight corners because it helps you keep the highest speed possible. Punch drifting works best on downhill sections, since gravity helps the car stay floating for longer, but it can be done on most surfaces. This float is short, and in some corners you can even use it more than once. It works on a lot of cars, but there's a trade-off. It slightly widens your drift radius, so you need to be careful on very narrow turns. The second type of floaty is the well-known floaty drift, or 360 floaty drift. This happens when you do a 360 to the opposite direction of a corner, then immediately drift into the turn. This causes a much longer float compared to the punch drifting. It's best used on wide corners, where a punch drift simply isn't enough to fully cover the turn. The downside is that this float is far more car dependent. Fewer cars can pull this off consistently, and most of them are in S-Class. So how do you know which cars can pull floaties flawlessly, and which ones actually get worse when you try? Some cars are floaty and others are not. There's currently no way to tell if a car is floaty by looking at its stats. You have to test it. Roughly 2/3 of cars can punch drift, and 1/3 can fully floaty drift. And every car that can floaty drift can also punch drift. The third and fourth floaties are exclusive to the Devel 16. No other car in the game can do this. RedNycto already made a great video on this topic, so props to him for naming and explaining these floaties. I'll leave his video linked in the description. The third float is the flick floaty. This happens when you quickly drift to the opposite side of a corner, then flick back into the direction you want to go. The final float is the hold float. For this one, you simply drift and hold it for about an extra half a second, then turn into the corner. This float is extremely safe, easy to execute, and works very consistently. If this guide helped you, leave a comment, I read all of them. If you liked my voice or editing style, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, see you next time.